And we are live. Another episode of Coach's Corner. I've got Coach Darius with me. Darius, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Doing all right. Doing all right. We had a bit of a cramp practice last time. They're, as you can see just from the video, they're renovating the dojo to give us more space to operate and work with. The mats were a little loose, so we brought the tarp out just
Yeah,
so
yeah.
people's feet wouldn't get caught in the crevices. So we're gonna have our first match here. It's going to be TJ and Sean. So let's watch these guys have a match. All right, Coach, what are you seeing?
Mhm.
Oh,
Well,
nice. Good counter there. Yeah, it looks like Sean was TJ was a little wider, a little lower.
hmm
Good count. And as soon as Sean tried to go for the Kotanage, TJ steps over with the leg and wraps it to keep him and knock him backwards.
it pushes him over his leg.
Mm-hmm.
Um, TJ got the double inside, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Good head.
Sean doing good work with the old skate.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them have pretty good head position up until the end.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just a good move by TJ getting that leg on the
Yep.
outside for that little gake trip right there and
Mm-hmm.
ultimately getting the win. I mean, it looks nice. Um,
Yeah, Sean's really
I
good at that
know, I know.
over the arm most skate. He likes to wrap that up, and he's real tight with that. So.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I said, and I know, you know, his he didn't have as much flex and his flexibility in his knees,
Mm-hmm.
so that's the big thing there
Yep.
for him. So that's the package trip was a good decision by TJ.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're gonna have a match here with Matt and Jake. Matt, he's also coming back from a knee injury as well. Okay, let's watch
Good
this.
old farmer stand from Jake.
Mm-hmm. Jake running right in there. Yep.
Yeah,
Good job circling with Matt. And yep, Jake closes the circle and walks him out. Okay, Coach, what do you see here?
well, looks like a little bit of a hanker at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with understandable with the size difference and strength difference between Matt
Mm-hmm.
and Jake there. It was nice to get inside control, and I like how he really works to get inside.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of smaller guys they like to kind of work on the outside, but I always tell them that you're trickier and you're harder to move the closer you are to me
Mm-hmm.
because I have space to maneuver. So if you're up on me real tight, it's actually harder for me to move you as if you give me space.
Mm-hmm.
So he worked in to try and close that space in. Um, but Jake able to push him back out to
Mm-hmm.
get the space he wanted, and then finally just overs him to get him out. So
Mm-hmm.
um, good work from Matt. Jake is probably the second best guy at the club right now. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, just a tough opponent to beat in
Oh
that
yeah.
situation.
We got Spencer coming back as well. He's starting to exercise that right knee after that injury he
Yep.
had, getting his little groove on there.
Yep.
Spencer and Mark. There we go. Oh, and he worked him out.
Mhm.
And Mark doing a good
So,
job of this match keeping good head pressure.
oh
Not.
yeah, I mean, he perfect positioning for him. I mean, like really well executed there.
Mm-hmm.
Head and chest, but still looking up, doing sliding the feet, not taking huge steps
Mm-hmm.
as much. Um, and staying square up, keeping them in front of him, which is really good. Uh, and then of course Spencer just getting back into the groove. So got to knock the ring rust off, so to
Oh yeah.
speak. So
This
we'll
is
see.
Michael's first match. He's BJJ blue belt, joining us for his wanted to try sumo.
Mhm.
He actually does pretty good here. Keeps his
Yeah.
balance pretty well. I'm trying to throw him. He's staying pretty well balanced and doing a good job of pressuring me back, but I'm just able to turn him. And that was just more experience than anything.
Mhm.
Coach, what are you seeing?
Yes, I mean it looks like he's doing a pretty good job against you.
Mm-hmm.
You're a fairly technically proficient guy, so he got a little vertical there,
Mm-hmm.
but was able to get Ben back down, working his head back in
Mm-hmm.
to try and work you up and push you out.
Yep.
So there's definitely good points. I don't know if you remember Tony Desmos
Mm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
from our Lexington group, but he's a BJJ black belt. So I mean, they can definitely be tricky. They know how to utilize the arms and the levers of the body. So
Mm-hmm.
it'll be interesting to see how he progresses with that.
Oh yeah. We'll skip this match. TJ, well, we can watch a little bit of it. TJ and I happened to get in the front of there, but yeah, TJ and Sean had a lot of matches on Saturday. They were the most of the guys that were in the ring. Yeah.
They're, they're both eager guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they both have fun with getting in those matches, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right, we're gonna see a match with Mark and Matt, and TJ's made America butt cheeks. All right, here we
hmm.
go. All right, nice job capturing the arm there. Okay, good work. I'd like to see Mark hit a little more with his tachi. He's kind of coming up and grabbing the head, but that just might be how he decides to do it. That just
Yeah, I
might
mean,
be his style.
if he did what he did in Spencer's match,
Mm-hmm.
if he's able to keep that approach, he'll do
Mm-hmm.
wonderfully. Because he's a stronger, stouter guy
Mm-hmm.
for his height there, and he even though he should naturally be able to get under Matt because he's shorter than him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So grabbing the top of the head without immediately going for a pull is just going to raise your body up.
Yeah.
So when he goes in again, just so his hands in, just like in Butskari Keiko,
Mm-hmm.
getting in there. Um, as far as Matt goes, he was able to stay with him pretty
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then he was able to grab the arm, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
to try and stay. But once you get sideways,
Mm-hmm.
again, um, working off one leg instead of two is always going to be a tough proposition. When he had the arm toward the edge, he probably could have went again with where the head goes, the body follows. So
Mm-hmm.
if he would have looked really hard and really turned his whole body into that throw toward the edge, he very well might have been able to win that match. But
Mm-hmm.
overall, good work from the both of them, putting
Yeah.
in good energy in the match.
Yeah, for sure. They have a little bit of a rematch here. Nice. Matt doing a good job staying low, pushing. Very good job.
Yep. Again, it was great work staying in, keeping him in tight, and using his weight advantage, strength advantage on him.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing is Mark's head is turned here. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's off to the shoulder, so it's going to take some of his power away. If he really has to fight to get that head in,
Mm-hmm.
get it in toward the chest, so that he can be square on and really, move the match that way.
Absolutely. All right. Michael's second match is going to go against Sean. Oh, Caught Sean leaning over a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, mastering those levers. Sean leaning a little too much,
Mm-hmm.
pulled him down.
Yep. All right, Jake and Mark. Good hit. And up and out.
Yep.
Yeah, for the small guys, like you need to keep your hips back, and you gotta, if they have two hands on your belt, you've got to break one of those grips, or you're going to be done.
Yeah, and again, if you could go back to the Tachi there
Yeah.
for that match. Yeah, see, he lets Jake's shoulder stand him up.
Mm-hmm.
If he really went into that Tachi and again had that head square in,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been harder for him to get that belt grip and have the control he did. But
Mm-hmm.
because he let Jake's shoulder lift him up, it just made it easy work to
Yep.
push him out.
That's that right shoulder. He's lifting them up with it. Yep.
Yep.
My match against TJ. TJ was very difficult to deal with. He's learned a lot of lessons, and especially from nationals.
Yep.
And he's doing a good job staying, keeping that right arm under, and also trying to get under my left armpit. I'm trying to swim in to keep him from doing it, but he's still threatening it the whole time. Second attempt on that throw that didn't work. Yeah, he had good pressure the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a great underarm.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is that he really never utilized it fully. So he had great position on that underarm,
Mm-hmm.
but he was fiddling too much with your other side, right?
Yeah, I think he wanted both under, and
Yeah,
just like, yeah, I definitely felt that pressure, and I couldn't do anything with that hand, so I had to switch over to try to pull his head down.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, if he had went earlier
Mm-hmm.
for potentially a Katsukashi
Mm-hmm.
with that underarm, it probably would have worked well.
Mm-hmm.
It was just he already had in his mind he needed to get that other hand.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes his focus away from feeling the pressure between you and really working on what he has.
Mm-hmm.
So just experience things and building up the confidence to know that okay, if A doesn't work, I have B and C that I can go to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole thing. Like when you go into a match again, straightforward either Oshidashi or Yurikiri, but if those don't work, then you say, okay, I have these other tools in my belt that I can utilize in these situations. So just building that confidence in your other technical abilities.
All right, here we have Derek, and I think this is his first match against Sean. Derek, this is his second practice ever, so he's still learning.
Mm-hmm.
He's done some wrestling and some judo before, so his balance is pretty good. Oh, I think he slipped.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean slipped a little bit. Up to the point of the slip. Let's go back. He didn't move too much with his Tachi. He just kind of stood up.
Yep. Doing some hand fighting in there.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting like this Kimidashi type position with these, where he's like wrapping around.
Mm-hmm. Overhook, underhook. Yep.
Yeah. And for there, if you had turned, potentially got that throw.
Mm-hmm.
But really because of Sean's height, an overhook is probably not going to be a great position to have.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you're giving him a lever to keep you upright. And you can see he stays very upright pretty much the entire match because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not going for Kimidashi, which is going to be really hard against a taller Rikishi, unless you're like Terunofuji, who's like one of the few guys who really does it, frequently, if you're just tall and freakish strength,
Mm-hmm.
it's just not going to be a very advantageous position for most people.
All right, TJ again. I'm going against Jake. Doing a good job making sure his arms don't get trapped. There you go. Oh, no. Oh.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. Josh should be said, this is already, we're only 17 minutes in, and this is like TJ's fourth or fifth match, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
So
was.
we could go back and review that one.
Yeah, he was really going for it that Saturday. Let's go back and look and see what all happened. Good hit.
Yeah, he doesn't get as many steps in as I would like, especially for him giving up the ground he has.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's the benefit of being back that far is that you can ramp up and get those steps in to build up your momentum.
Yep.
But if you don't make up that ground, you just gave up all that space. So he's
Mm-hmm.
starting back so far. So I need him to really come in.
Yeah.
He does a great job by getting double inside,
Mm-hmm.
which is wonderful work. He's working the head. He's keeping Jake up, which is, again, all great things. Jake does the right thing, trying to create space for himself. And when he feels TJ pushing back in to try and reassert that head position, he just pulls him and gets that nice win there.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's just big thing for TJ is he just gave up so much space at the beginning that he had to really fight so hard to get back to a neutral space. And Jake was able to utilize that momentum there. So yeah.
All right, having the lighter weight guys go. It's going to be Mark and Michael.
Yeah, so he's going for
Mm-hmm.
that head thing again.
Yep. And then,
And right, so let's go back to where he initially gets that head grip.
okay.
Like right there.
Mm-hmm.
So take it back a couple spaces maybe.
Let me slow the playback up a little bit.
Okay.
Speed. Slower. All right.
So right there.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the BJJ guy, I'm sorry, I forget
Michael.
his name.
Yeah, Michael right here.
Michael.
Mm-hmm.
So he's pretty much stood straight up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So really, Mark is in the best position possible. He's lower than him.
Mm-hmm.
He has an open chest, so he could just plant his head in and drive him through. Now he grabs the back of his head, which I know is probably a tendency he got as a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Doing Greco-Roman freestyle wrestling. But he's going to actually bring Michael, instead of in a disadvantageous position, into a more advantageous
Mm-hmm.
position, where he's going to push him down, bring center of gravity down for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so he basically made the fight harder for himself, forced his opponent into a better position
Mm-hmm.
with the head grip instead of, making it harder for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so, he just comes straight in, head in the chest, pushing straight out. He would have had this match initially, but, he releases the grip and now he's trying to catch up with him
Mm-hmm.
and just gets pulled down. So, again, it's just when you've trained in one style for so long and developed that muscle memory and stuff for those movements, it's going to be hard to break.
Yep.
Because there's not a lot of, martial arts or sports like sumo,
Mm-hmm.
where if you touch the ground, it's over. So,
Mm-hmm.
Coming into sumo, you have to break the habit of I can't touch the ground. And, movements that are going to lead to sacrificial type throws are not going to be great
Mm-hmm.
for sumo. So it's just breaking those habits, getting the ring awareness, getting the ring sense. But I'm sure he'll get it. He has, like I said, in that Spencer match, if he wrestled all of his matches it's like that,
Mm-hmm.
he'd do wonderfully.
Absolutely. All right. Speaking of head control, I'm going to end up doing that to Sean here.
Yeah,
I've learned that grabbing Sean's belt's a mixed bag sometimes.
yeah.
he's really good at tying up the arm, and he's got such a death grip. You can see my left arm. I can't do anything honestly,
Right, right. Yep.
and he has such a grip on it. I'm just like, and it's trapped. Crap. So.
And with Sean, because of his reduced knee mobility,
Mm-hmm.
it probably does help a lot more because he can't right himself the same way, some other people can.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be a potentially smart decision with the head control there. Um, but again, I'd probably still try and go straight into Sean's chest, get him standing up tall, and just take away all that strength.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. We're gonna have a match with TJ and Matt.
Coming up closer here, stay in nice, great form there.
Mm-hmm.
Got the elbows in, hands into the chest, head into the chest.
Oh yeah, that was
Just
perfect.
great, great, great textbook form there. Um, so that was beautiful work by TJ.
Okay, here we got another one with. We're gonna have a match with Derek and Jake.
What's Derek weighing at? Is he like a
I think
is he like a light
he's
heavy or heavyweight?
he's heavyweight. He's
Okay.
I think he's, if I were to take a guess, 320 or 280. No,
Okay.
between 280 and 320.
Gotcha. Good. Gets inside,
Mm-hmm.
trying to break the grip. But Jake just doing a good job,
Mm-hmm.
with Gabuti Yiti,
Mm-hmm.
getting those movements and really bringing him in
Yep.
to get those hips into him.
And Derek tried to break the grip, but he was on top of the wrist and not on top of the thumb. He couldn't rip it off. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to be right on that thumb, or it does not work.
And Jake's keeping that shoulder into his chest to keep him stood up.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, great work again. I don't expect Derek to have all of these things after one practice.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just stuff to work on. But great form from Jake and learning experience for Derek.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Mark doing a better job keeping his head position.
Yeah. And
Oh,
I know for a fact that it's tough getting in on Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Again with the head, if you're not gonna go for something immediately, that's just not gonna be helpful to you.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, if you get a head grip, you need to be going for like a kubinage. You need to be going
Mm-hmm.
for tsukinage,
Yeah.
something like a throw. You should be going for something actively.
Yeah, it should be
Just having it there is going to
a transition
just,
position and not just something you're hanging out at. So.
yep, just going to bring your center of gravity up, especially against someone who's as much taller than you as Sean is to Mark.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only going to take you out of position. But he's working to keep head position in, which is good. Um, just working on those things, getting him out of those wrestling habits.
Mm-hmm.
So let's we'll watch the match. Good work.
And he tried a little more. I think it was just Michael was trying some shoving, Sapari techniques with it in this particular match, but happened to feel him stand up and just shove him out. So, what were you saying, Coach?
He was just so shallow
Mm-hmm.
in his tachi, right? So when he's even set up here,
Mm-hmm.
he's just so shallow. He doesn't have forward lean. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like you can tell that in the position he's in, he's probably just going to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, against some people that might not be a big deal, but when you start getting into competitive levels, those are things you can notice. You can notice if somebody leaning into the tachiai if you're just going to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something for him. He just stood up and basically showed his chest with it being um, his first practice. Again, just a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
And, for the art that he's used to doing being almost the exact opposite of sumo is,
Mm-hmm.
again, it's just going to be something, a new muscle, a new skill set to build up for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in this match, he almost acted um, as the uke for Cody, the receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of opened his chest up to you and stood up straight.
Yep. All right. Were there any matches you wanted to see in particular? Did you watch the practice?
Hmm.
Oh, hey
No,
there.
I hadn't because I figured we were going to
Yep, absolutely.
review it. So, yeah.
Let's watch Spencer and TJ go. Oh, good job. Straight in. TJ working on his head tachi. Doing a
Yeah.
great job keeping his elbows
Well,
in. Yep.
it was great work for the both of them. I think Spencer had the advantage
Mm.
initially until he gets that arm on the head.
Yep.
Once he gets the arm on the head, he's inviting TJ to get underneath him, push him up, and have that head position for easy out move, push out.
We got Sean and Jake going at it. Sean wrap the oh, there we go. Wrap the arm up.
Yeah, yeah. Jake just does a great job. Shoulder tachi,
Mm-hmm.
um, standing standing Spencer up, and then getting those inside grips.
Mm-hmm.
And so once you get the inside grip standing up, it's going to be an easy match for you. So
Mm-hmm.
this great work by Jake because shoulder tachi just forced him up, and that pretty much led the rest of the match.
All right, we're gonna buy a match with Derek here. Been trying out this Enho grip where he grabs deep in the back and gets to the side and grabs in the front. Not sure how I'm
Mm-hmm.
liking it yet, but I'm gonna keep playing with it, see how it works.
No, it looked great. Again, Derek has to learn to really
Mm-hmm.
blast into his tachi. He's kind of just. I see. At first, you had the
Mm-hmm.
head hold or whatever,
Yep, it's
but
it,
he's
it's a
got the
reflex.
in-hoe grip, and it worked out way better.
Yeah, it's a reflexive thing with me as well because so many years of wrestling, I grab behind the neck by out of habit.
So I get it. This, sumo's my first art, so
Yep.
um, you know, all of my muscle memory has been built to sumo so
Mm-hmm.
far. So I'm sure if I go and try something else, it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah. All right, Spencer doing a good job here. Trying to circle
Oh.
him out. Using that underhook to try to lift Mark up.
Mm-hmm.
I gave up on it. All right.
That was a good match.
Yeah, for sure. Watch that Tachi Eye again. Better Tachi Eye with Mark. Didn't go for the head.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you see, Mark does a great job circling in,
Mm-hmm.
getting. I think he moves his head in lower. He's
Mm-hmm.
forcing head movement from Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. But then Spencer gets that pull
Mm.
and that kind of presents where Spencer can kind of take some advantage. But good job, staying in and trying for it in the last moment
Mm-hmm.
there, that last ditch throw at the edge. The Ushari. The one thing I'd say about Spencer is he got that kind of over shoulder um, outside grip,
Mm.
and that's never a great grip to have. So, um, again, you want to be at the very minimum at the crossing over their bicep. You don't want to be over their shoulder because then you're just presenting a lever for them to stand you straight up.
Mm.
So, again, Mark didn't utilize it, but that comes with experience and knowing that. But if that's something I feel someone reaching over my
Mm-hmm.
shoulder, I can work to use that to stand them up,
Mm-hmm.
use that as a nice lever, and it makes it easier for me to yitty kitty them out,
Yeah.
force them out there.
And you would get
So,
their you would put that shoulder like up in their armpit and prop
yeah,
them
yeah,
up. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So that's why I always say at least try and cross the bicep.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do, and even I really like to try, if I can, to get an otsuke with my outside grip. So even though
Mm-hmm.
I'm gripping the belt, I can still pin that arm. So
Mm.
I'm keeping my arm low and in tight,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of immobilizing their inside arm. But if you're over the top, again, you're giving them that leverage point where they can lift you up,
Mm.
and you're not being able to mobilize their inside. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, just not the best grip position there. But again, sometimes it takes more experience to have people who will use that against you. So,
Mm-hmm.
right.
All right. Second match for Sean. He's starting a little further back. Throw me off. Makes my shoulder tachi pretty much non-existent when he does that.
Catching you there, wrapping up the arms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did a really good job pinning my arms in.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to get is that front washi grip on him.
Yep. And see, like right here, I don't know if I was Sean, I probably would have let go of my inside grip,
Mm-hmm.
and I would have tried to hyperextend your elbow there
Mm-hmm.
because he already had that grip. So just using my other arm, lifting up and then kind of guiding you out or down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, to get the elbow to straighten the arm out. Yeah.
yeah. So like right here, he could have probably because he had that grip. So unless you broke that grip, you would have definitely been feeling it
Mm-hmm.
if he would have lifted up with both arms.
Mm-hmm.
But again, he was standing up higher. You were able to get that nice pivot point for that. Sotokake, no, not Sotokake. What is it?
Kakenage.
Yeah, Kakenage for that.
Mm.
So yeah.
All right, we're gonna have TJ and Michael. TJ working to get the head on chest or double unders. Nice.
Yep. Yep. Great work by TJ, just staying in the pocket,
Mm-hmm.
staying in exactly where you need to be in that nice traditional Buskari head and arm positioning,
Mm-hmm.
and then just go back like 1.5 seconds or so. So like you'll be able to see because Michael starts out with a very shallow
Mm-hmm.
tachi eye, and you see him kind of engaged to where he's gonna, you can tell he's really gonna come forward with his tachi eye.
Mm-hmm.
So he's there, and then once he lifts up, he's gonna be more engaged in that tachi eye, and so you can see he gets a better step in, and he
Mm-hmm.
even works to reach in. It's just TJ's arm is already inside at
Mm-hmm.
that moment. So again, this is stuff we can work, and as a positive. A negative there is he's kind of like how Josh sometimes did, getting sideways, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll have to work to break that out to stay more square on your
Mm-hmm.
opponent.
Absolutely.
But again, for his first practice to stay nice and in the ring, nice with TJ is a good accomplishment.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got Matt and Derek. Derek getting the lift out.
Yeah. So they come in, Matt's doing a great job with shoulder into his chest,
Mm-hmm.
saying low. It's just once you get lifted up, there's not a lot you can do. The
Mm-hmm.
biggest I would say is, especially if you're shorter than him, even if you can't really add weight, you can make yourself feel heavier by dropping your
Mm-hmm.
hips. So because he'd have to reach so much further over to pick you up. So as soon as you start to feel that pressure, just try and drop the hips.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, once you're already getting lifted out, there's not a ton you can do there.
Yep. And once you're in the air, you're done.
Yeah.
Had Jake and you do that to me a lot. It's like nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Better start with TJ with starting back so far.
Yeah, he's getting more of a more minimum going in.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Derek kind of just stood and took it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And getting his head and chest. They're doing a better job with that upper arm. And we're all acting concerned because over here there's just a bare concrete wall and nails sticking out. It's like
Mm.
don't take a header into that, guys. So,
Yeah, that's a boy now.
yeah.
Yeah, so good work with TJ. Got double inside and
Mm-hmm.
arm control pretty quick. Derek does a good job working under, getting an underhook in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Again, if you're not going to actively do anything with it, probably not the best. Or just like we do in our Turiyashi training, the elbow up Turiyashi.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not going for an immediate throw, instead of just having it on back, turning your wrist to the sky and really forcing them up with that arm
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a good deal there. Again, TJ doing a good job staying in the pocket. Just got lifted up a little bit by that underhook.
All right, Sean and Jake again. All right.
Yeah,
Right.
good hit by Jake. I mean, just
Mm-hmm.
he seemed like he had the better reaction to get off the line.
Mm-hmm.
Got a solid hit on Sean, lifted him up, and you know pushed him out.
Mm-hmm.
Just pretty straightforward sumo there from Jake. Good work.
Yeah, that was a good job.
Yeah, it's hard when you get beat off the line and you can't build up momentum, especially against a heavier opponent than you.
Mm-hmm. I think this is my first of 2 matches with Matt. Does a good job right there, nice and deep receiving that. I did not move him at all. He's really powerful here, pushing me back.
Yeah, so that leg forward right after the touchdown was great. I just like to see him take more forward steps. If
Mm-hmm.
he would have in Itachi, he kind of received you a little more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which I mean, I get because you're really quick off the line, make sure to get those steps in. But I
Mm-hmm.
would like to see him at least get a nice full step in um, before getting that front leg forward. Because I actually use that front leg position a lot in my
Mm.
sumo, just because it makes me feel more stable
Mm-hmm.
front to back. So, it's good positioning. It's just I would have liked him to have a more powerful tachiai with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you had to double
Mm-hmm.
underhooks there. So I mean, just more levers to play with. So it makes
Yep.
it easier.
Here's Michael's first match with Jake. We actually made him do it again because you'll see why here in a second. He's a little shallow there and kind of gets taken out real quick. So we're like, go back, do it again, hit him harder.
Yeah. Yeah.
He does a little bit better this time around. There we go, harder. But he was just leaning too far back, and Jake felt it and took
Yeah. I
advantage
mean,
of it.
Jake's a lot of mass to move.
Mm-hmm.
And again, he was yellow again with his takia. He didn't get into that almost gun coction he did
Mm-hmm.
on the other movement. So he stayed pretty shallow, which is
Mm-hmm.
going to limit the forward momentum you can create.
Yep.
Um, and so then once Jake gets in there, he's just too much man to move.
Mm-hmm.
He tries to force him forward. Jake feels it and just pulls him instead of um, instead of pushing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing working with inertia. You have your natural instinct is to, if you're pushed, you want to push.
Mm-hmm.
But in fact, the better thing to do is if you're being pushed to pull,
Mm-hmm.
um, so that you're not fighting the force, you're utilizing their force and adding to it. So
Mm-hmm.
um, again, Michael pushes hard into him. Jake's able to resist that push and then just pull with him and use his force against him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's a big thing in sumo. Is just feeling that movement, feeling the inertia and the balance of your opponent.
All right, Matt hanging on the head there. Sean doing a better job locking up that arm that grabbed onto his belt and forcing him out.
Yeah.
He just Tachi again.
And then kind of catching
Mm-hmm.
with the head is giving Sean that inside, letting him be under you,
Mm-hmm.
and then he gets control of that arm,
Mm-hmm.
extends it, and uses that to move him out. So again, Matt is shorter than Sean, of course. So he should have had a better time getting up underneath Sean than to grab the head and pull.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not someone who has the mass of like me or Jake, where you can kind of stop it and then use it, pull down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, really just work up underneath Sean and stay in the pocket, like more how TJ's been doing as of late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Spencer and Derek. Good hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spencer's still a little tender with that knee, so he really did want to resist too hard with that match.
Yeah. 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 If he was able to move his head in
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more instead of resting on his shoulder and being lifted up a little bit, he would have been able to do a little bit better in that match. But again, you're coming back from an injury. You're having to discover,
Mm-hmm.
how is this going to work, and you have to gain confidence with the injured part again,
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely.
So right here, he should be pressuring more with his head.
Yeah,
forehead.
pressure to try and work back inside.
Mm-hmm.
You know, instead of resting on his shoulder,
Okay.
that's going to push him up.
Yeah, so he should be working inside and get that forehead into like Derek's chin or something. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right, we have a match with Mark here real quick. Mark, I think that just the mistake he made with this one, he circled himself to the edge.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch, it's like he immediately circles this way, and he's already right on the edge for me. So
Mm.
boom, there, and yep.
Yeah, instead of circling into space, he's circling out of space. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So as a part of getting that ring awareness, getting that ring sense. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It all develops in time for sure.
Yeah.
All right. I think
Absolutely.
this is the fourth match with Sean and TJ.
Great work by TJ.
Mm-hmm. Both fighting for that inside position. TJ's got the
Yeah.
better head position.
Sean standing there.
Mm-hmm. Good job controlling the arm with Sean right by the elbow.
Yeah. Nice old kid.
All right.
Well,
Yep.
tried for that throw and didn't work. So now side exposed.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean they both worked well, getting head position, working for that positive headspace, and just TJ worked it out and got the better of it.
Mm-hmm. Good hit.
Yep.
Good job working him out. I think though Jake lost that one because he stepped before Derek fell. But other than that, everything else was really good.
Would have liked to see Derek get a full step in at the top there, though. But
Mm-hmm.
besides that, yeah. And again, that's why and as far as Jake goes, that's why we want to instill that sliding, that Sidiashi
Mm-hmm.
right off the gate. Because when you're taking what I like to call mountaineering steps,
Mm.
you can get the tendency to overstep and cause yourself to lose the match by going over the Tawada.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely want to slide so that you can feel that edge really nicely, and then just drop those hips down and push up.
Okay, I think they had we made him do Torinoshi, so second match. Oh, false start. There we go.
Ooh,
Try to henka. Better job. Slower, more controlled on the edge with Jake.
yeah. So it's better to do those things in practice than in a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just feeling that mistake and being like, okay, yeah, I need to be sliding. I have to remember I'm sliding at this edge instead of
Mm-hmm.
taking steps.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
TJ and Sean again. I think they had something like between them 15 matches total. Oh, nice job. Beltless arm throw.
nice and nice work from Sean circling
Mm-hmm.
in, but
Mm-hmm.
TJ just felt that momentum and just said, "Here, let me help you out a little bit."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, it was good work from John trying to get back in.
Yep.
PJ found that momentum and just said, all right, well, let me help you out a little bit.
Yep. All right, match number 2 with Matt.
Your shoulder tachiai, getting Otsuke from the both of you.
And trying that Enho grip again and try to get my forehead into his jaw.
Yeah, I mean, when you get side control, which is really what Enho's grip is, I mean, it just makes it easier because again, you're only working against one leg instead of the both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're able to get that side control, it's great. What ended up happening with Enho is everybody figured out, okay, keep them square in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
So. But as long as you're able to get that side control, it works wonderfully. I mean,
oh yeah, for sure. It's just something I'm trying to figure out with you bigger guys.
yeah.
Because if I stand directly in front of you, I'm done.
It's always trying out different things and just perfect craft.
Yep. All right, Mark and TJ, show me what you got. There we go. Good job, TJ, keeping the head and chest, arms in again.
Yep.
Derek is a wonderful door and not a window.
Yeah. Looks like Mark did a good job circling back in to get some ground in.
Yep. Looks like he's also trying to. They're head fighting there for position, so that's good. Mark's doing a good job as well, keeping his arms in. I got that overhook, which is not helping him, but everything else is all right.
Yep. Again with that overhook, that's just standing you up, and then it gave TJ the opening to just push him up and out.
Mm-hmm.
You already kind of get stood up a little bit with the arm.
All right, Spencer's going with Michael.
Nice tachiai.
Mm-hmm.
Go for the pull, Spencer. Wow.
I think you lost it.
Yeah, I mean, Michael has leaned in pretty far, so I think Spencer could have got that with a nice timely pull there. Like right here, was pulled. But and again, the other thing, this I think is Michael's first practice, so. But we'll really have to work on him with the city because he's taking really big steps there, which is going to make it even harder if somebody tries to pull or throw you because you're on one leg instead of two. So.
Yep. All right, my match with Jake. He's got to come forward and hit him.
Put chest in, nice pull.
Got hold of my head.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can see it lifted his upper body up, right? So.
That was a close one. They called it for me, but it could have gone either way.
Hey, but I mean, I can see why, because you had more of the head turn. Like if you look, I mean, Jake, of course, outclasses you strength-wise, but because you fully committed to the throw, you turned your head completely. You were able to get the advantage in that throw, I feel.
There we go.
So,
one of the few times I didn't put my hand on the ground and lose the match. So.
Old school guys say better to win on your face than lose on your hands.
Yep.
So.
All right, Sean and TJ again. Good job, TJ, getting both hands in there. Sean getting his head in.
Yeah. And locking up those arms with what's good.
Now they're head and arm fighting.
Yep. Feeling the push and just pulling out.
Yep.
Seems like TJ's starting to feel the momentum a little bit more here in this practice. Feeling where the force is coming from, and instead of just fighting against the force, using it to his advantage.
Yep.
which is really nice. I know in judo they have a saying about a empty gi,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but you can definitely get that way with your sumo if you can start to feel the inertia really well.
All right, Matt and Spencer going. Matt pushing hard, Spencer defending. Got that underarm. Good job.
Good, got the side. Good work from the both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Again, when that movement didn't work for Matt, it
Yeah.
just gave Spencer that side control. So
Yeah. I think Matt
maybe
was trying to force that versus actually feeling Spencer push into him.
right,
So
right.
yeah, because Spencer's pretty stationary there, and then Matt he turns and tries to go for it, but there wasn't enough to move Spencer. So
Yeah. Yeah, again, a throw isn't something you should be looking for. A throw is something that presents itself
mm-hmm.
in situations. So, again, going to a match, Yuri Kiri Oshidashi.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's as the match progresses, you can feel situations for, a slap down or a throw of some kind, But that's not what your intention should be going into a match. Just staying in.
Nice. All right, I think that
TJ just
is.
polishing himself.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, TJ is just further polishing himself, making him a better, more well-rounded wrestler, finding his style.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Again, that staying in the chest is such a strong tool because it keeps you close and it forces your opponent up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's giving you an advantage while putting your opponent in a disadvantage position all the time. Akino Shima was a great wrestler back in the 90s, early 2000s. He has the record for the most kinboshi
Mm-hmm.
and the most special prizes. And if you ever watch his matches, especially in the 90s when he was still kind of younger, he was very adamant about getting that head in the chest, and it made it so hard for guys to work against him. And it's why he had something like 17 Kimboshi Gold Star victories against Yokozuna.
Mm.
So if you want to see that head positioning working really well, you can watch some of his videos. But yeah,
Nice.
just great work there.
Yep, doing a good job. Yep, force him right out.
Yeah, and then also the jump to keep the force coming out but not touch the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Another great touch that'll really work in his favor in competition.
Cool. And that was it. All right. Any parting words, sir, before we get going?
Well, it looks good, and again, the new people are just that new.
Mm.
Just got to build them up, give them that foundation, and you know they'll get right into it. Again, the big thing, sliding the feet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, staying in the pocket, staying in that Butsukari position,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're a shorter guy, because that's where you're advantaged at if you're a shorter guy. And then again, only putting your hand over if you're actively in a throwing motion.
Mm.
So, not just resting your hand because you're just giving a lever and raising yourself up. So
Mm.
unless you're actively going for a move, a throw of some kind, you don't have the arms up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Yep.
those are big things.
Cool. That's all stuff we're going to be working on next practice. I think we're going to have one in the park last weekend of the month. So we'll take all of these points to heart and definitely work on them so they're second nature. So,
Yep. Because
all
once
right.
they're second nature, there ain't no telling what you can get to. I know that's something John Jocks preaches a lot too. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
All right,
All right,
another
well,
episode of
enjoy the rest of the Monday.
absolutely another episode of Coach's Corner in the books, and thank you for stopping by, Coach.
Yep, enjoy it.